Here's a Minecraft video this time. I told you I would do Minecraft, right? Well, this is my Minecraft server. I'm in creative because I wanted to write a book. Now I'm gonna tell you, this is my theory about how Minecraft, before you spawn in the world, before world generation happens, this is what happens. So I'm gonna show you this. 2,000 years before world generation, there was only friendly mobs and cave villagers. One day, on, one of the cave villagers said, "Hey, let's stay here." So they did, and you know what? They didn't die. It was the opposite, actually, and they learned that they could get food from grass too. 10,000 years before world generation, they started to gather materials for housing. They made world beams and dirt hill for walls. They made campfires for warmth too. They started to make mines too. 10,000 years before world generation, cave villagers moved on to villagers, and now they discovered iron ore, moving them forward into the Iron Age. They made clay houses with wheat for the roof, and they didn't even need doors because villagers were very peaceful. 1,000 years before world generation, villagers found something in the mines. They looked green and shiny, and they loved it so much that the villagers started stealing. As this sign is this sign a sign? Is this a sign of greed? Had the villagers gone mad? 1 year later, the villagers saw who did it, and they left them with a warning and sent them off. 3 years later, madness became a problem for villagers, where, where villagers were stealing emeralds emeralds again. So they had no choice but to lock them up. The greedy villagers was not showing greed, they were turning evil. 3 years later, the villagers turned gray and pale, and were evil and no turning back. So they banned them to the village in separate groups so to not take war. 500 years before world generation, the villagers were now named Illagers, short for evil villagers. The village is now in the medieval age. They built cobblestone houses with oak stairs for the roof and oak logs for the corners. And the Illagers, over time, gathered an army to raid the village. The villagers were dying, so when the raid was happening, the villagers constructed an iron golem to protect the village. And the villagers were losing so much that they created the Ravager, half villager, half animal, their own iron golem. The battle was fierce, but the villagers won. Villagers were forced to build outposts and mansions to survive, the iron golems capturing allies to turn to vexes for raids, and trapping iron golems to be tested on, and a cobblestone enchantment room to enchant vindicators to workers. 100 years later, before world generation, people spawned in, and they become the ancient builders. They built jungle temples, desert pyramids, ships, and found the sniffer. They used the sniffer to get seeds for food, but the illagers hunted the villagers over and over till the ships sunk. And the last of the sniffers died, leaving sniffer eggs in the chest and in sus gravel and sand. Sorry, I didn't know how to spell suspicious. The ancient builder. I could just look it up, but I chose not to. The ancient builders also accidentally built the Wither, and they escaped to the Nether to test on pigs. Over time, they built bastions, Nether fortresses, and they died there. Others went to the stronghold, and they created the end portal. They found this dragon, a punch of them, but this dragon, wait, what? Oh yeah, a punch of them, but they got greedy and okay, that's I don't know. They found this dragon, but they got greedy. They killed them for dragon heads, and the builders made cities and ships to survive. And then the only dragon was the Ender Dragon, the original Ender Dragon. The last ender dragon closed all of the portals from the villagers had made from the crystals that powered up the dragon. Then, with nothing to eat, the rest of the builders, 30,000 of them, ate chorus fruit. After 12 years, the chorus fruit side effects came. The rest of the ancient builders became Endermen. Back to the village buildings turned in old and mossy, and paths were made for walking on the grass so much. And then the ancient builders' buildings were left to rot, and the village mines were closed up, turning into abandoned mine shafts. Emeralds were so rare because villagers mined them all up, but didn't mine them in deep caves or mountains because it was too dangerous. World generation, you spawned in. Now seeing how much you missed from this world, much to explore and see, but the Minecraft world still has much more to go. So that's what I made. That's my theory of how it happened. So, and I also made this house. I thought it was kind of cool. I just came up with it, but I don't know. I don't know. You guys, you guys can say it, but or comments, but yeah, there's like a nice deck with a roof on top and there's seats. I don't know if these seats are good because it doesn't have a bottom, but it looks like seats to me. So then you got a nice build hack I learned on YouTube. Look, it looks like a TV, and then you just add a redstone torch to turn it on. Boom. And there's some bookshelves, just some bookshelves. All of this tools and armor, and then the clock on the item brain. Here's my chest with all my stuff. Furnace, crafting table, and then bed. And it has 4 windows right here. I thought it was pretty basic. Then I got a nice trees, and then there's my favorite mangrove tree. And I made a prison, so because villagers kept going on my bed, and I needed to make some laws. So if I see a villager in my house or a bed, I have to put them in prison for at least 3 Minecraft days. It just needs to happen because I'm actually getting a little annoyed by that. It's just so annoying. If you know what I mean. And then you got a nice workroom right here. It has nothing in it because I released a villager. It has a yard. And then it has, of course, a cell. So then you release them with this. So that's about it. That's literally my world, and there's just like a village here. A nice blacksmith. I broke this because I was trying to see what the villager was like. I broke all the stonecutters, and he still had like the stonecutter outfit. So I hope Mojang sees this video and fixes that bug, because apparently he just keeps trying to get to that job right there, and he never gets to it because it's broken. It's just weird. I had to literally knock out the villager and like literally respawn him. So yeah, that's and this is my first house I made, and I sold it, but no players go in here, so I don't know why I'm selling it. Here's my cool base right here. If you go under here, it's like an underground base. I thought it was pretty cool. You just come in here and then boom, you're in the base. Got some chests here, 2 furnaces there with coal in there. And then you do that. Have a crafting table and a debug stick. Now the debug stick is kind of cool. You can do this. Boom. Isn't that weird? And you can do the same with this. And that. I think the debug stick's hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna put my journal in there too. So yeah, this is basically my thing. I'm doing a survival server soon, like a survival server, and I will. YouTube, if you were watching, please let me upload my 100-day video. I would like to upload a 100-day video. So, because it's going to be 100 days in survival, not hardcore, but survival, easy survival, because I'm not good at survival. And it's going to be, but it updates every day. Going from the last alpha update, or no, the first last update, alpha update to 1.20, because there's like There's alpha update here, and then there's just the versions. So, the beta versions. So it's gonna update every day, and then I'm also gonna add 200 days to it after. So I'm making another video that goes on from 100 days to 200 days. So that's my plan. And yeah, so that's my video. I hope you enjoy. LJ Central out. Bye, guys.